I think perhaps the favorite topic for all of us, Rick Scott. I won't belabor the point about, because it's been on TV enough, about Rick Scott getting some help from Christie. Or as I call them, Governor Gridlock and Governor 1%. And, you know, in many ways they're very similar, in many ways you deserve each other. As I've talked about before in media too, and I won't belabor the point, they have two things in common. The first is, it's like a quiz, they have great experience in lawyering up. The second is that they use transportation as a tool, as a political tool and a political weapon. Governor Christie, as you know, was involved theoretically, at least, in the GW Bridge closing and using it as a punishment against the mayor of Fort Lee, New Jersey. Now other revelations are coming out. But he used that as a tool to punish an enemy who wouldn't endorse him, and the mayor was a Democrat. But let's remember and talk to our constituents how Governor Scott uses transportation as a tool. And that is, this jobs governor had an opportunity to accept over $2 billion for high-speed rail, and by the most conservative estimate, create 24,000 jobs. He refused. And bad enough, they refused this phony jobs governor, 24,000 jobs. But rather than vetoing the bill in Tallahassee's office, he decided to make it a political weapon also, and a tool. And decided that there was going to be a rally for his veto message. Again, not in the Capitol, but somewhere else. And he had that rally to veto these 24,000 jobs at an event thrown by his party. Now what's most interesting is, that would be bad enough if this rally was done by the Republican Party. But that's not who it was. The rally was done in Central Florida to rid us of the possibility of 24,000 jobs by a function thrown by the Tea Party, not even the Republican Party. It was a Tea Party function. So he also uses that as a weapon. Let me finally close on Lieutenant Governor's brilliant pick for Lieutenant Governor. Now it's interesting because it took 10 months, and then finally when a lawsuit was filed, all of a sudden a decision was made. And many names were put forth in the paper, including, theoretically, the governor's short list of 4. Well, the guy who got picked wasn't on the short list. And as it said in the papers, many people were asked and many people said no. So he picked a gentleman who met 2 criteria this governor, who doesn't know how to govern, needed. Jack. And it wasn't Jack. Was because he provided 2 elements. One is, he said, I'll follow the agenda. This horrible, anti-Hispanic agenda, since he picked an Hispanic in Dade County, and now they're asking all the Hispanics in Florida to fall in love with Rick Scott, irrespective of how terrible he's been on Hispanic issues. But he met the 2 criteria. The first criteria was, as he said when asked about the governor's agenda, said, I'm not really up to date on that, so I'm not going to comment on that. This was a guy who was a legislator for 8 years, until recently. So what does that tell you? The status quo. Anti-Hispanic, anti-minority, anti-everyone but the 1%. But perhaps equally to the one other criteria that was a must-do from this governor is he finally found somebody who said yes. He was 0 for 7 and found somebody say yes. So as soon as he found somebody who agreed to take it on, the search was over. And the guy was announced. He was never on a short list. He was never in a speculation of an article. That's how this guy governs. These are the type of things we need to talk about. Anti-middle class, anti-working class, anti-labor, anti-minority, anti-woman, anti-everybody but the 1%. So, he makes Mitt Romney, who talked about 47%, look good. So, let me just arm you with those facts. We need to carry this forward. This is the beginning of the campaign year. The burden's on Broward, the burden's on South Florida. We need to carry it. Like the sticker says, we have to be, we must be scot-free. We must be.